be on Santa Cruz Voice.
Good morning. Good morning, SantaCruzVoice.com. This is Bettina McBee, and you are now listening to Bettina's Buzz on this beautiful, beautiful morning. It is so hot outside and beautifully hot. And in studio with me on this beautiful Saturday, I am very thrilled to have artist, friend, mentor in even some ways, I.B. Bayo. Good morning, Bayo.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
How are you this morning?
I'm great. It's good. It's a beautiful day, and just enjoying the moment.
Enjoying every moment. So, in enjoying this moment, as I can please tell the listeners a little bit this morning, I first met Bayo, I think in 2015, and he is an incredible artist of wearable art, fashion extraordinaire. And when I first met him, I had the pleasure of being chosen as one of the models for Fashion Art Santa Cruz. And at that time, Bayo was one of the many talented artists who had his wearable fashions there. And I have to say, everybody wanted to model Bayo's fashions. Tell us about yourself, Bayo, your beginnings.
Well, thank you so much for having me. My name, I go by Bayo. But my full name is Adebayo, Adebayo. I go by Bayo. I came from ninth generation of a weavers from Nigeria. My mom was a weaver. My father was a designer, clothing, making clothing for Nigerian royalties, for the kings and the queens and the chiefs, and just for always the family.
How were they chosen to make clothing for royals?
Well, if you come from the lineage, because my family we come from way back from that lineage of textile artists. So, and for making clothing, for people in that town, and for my dad age group, that's where they all have kings and queens. They all have the same, level of high authority. So when people knows the family for that, of course, that family will be so special to be creating a clothing for the royalties, for the kings and queens. So to choose for that.
And you said your family has done this for 9 generations?
I come from 9th generation. That's back to 1500, and from that lineage, just it's actually even what's so interesting about it is just for me, it's more passionate to me to choose 1500 because in that time, because of my family, there's something actually happening in the 1500 that what we call the way of no return, because a lot of so much unrest, destruction, the slavery, all that kind of thing. It takes a lot of toll. So in that 1500, from my family moving from one part of that continent to another, it has a lot of history into that, and that's what the family is known for. But it's way beyond 1500. The lineage of that is way beyond 15. But that 1500 is just when my family actually moved to where we call Nigeria today. So that's in around 1500. That's fine.
And how did your parents start teaching you about sewing or crafting wearable clothing?
Yeah, as early age, because we farm cotton, for in our family, in the history, at an early age, you start to go into the farm with your parents. I go with my mom. Sometimes I go with my dad or relative. You learn about the seed. The seed of cotton that's a so different kind of seed that you plant it. You see what kind of the ball of the cotton that will bloom to grow. And it's so fascinating at that age, at early age, because you not just me alone. I'll go with my brother and sister. They will give all of us a pile of seed, planting, and they would tell us to start to expecting what is going to grow about it, and growing. When that thing, the seed, it comes, it started first blooming. It's so amazing. When it started produce the cotton, that is even more, exciting. It's like, wow, as a young kid, your eye will lit up. Like, wow, I planted that. We always make fun, with my siblings. Say, mine is bigger than yours. Mine came out better than yours. And the parent would just say, okay, if you plant something, you got to make sure you put the water into it. So that's how, from my family, that's how they slowly move on into that. Then from there, you learn how to, get it off, from the cone, then, spin it, that to making yarn out of it, spinning and try to making it thread, because all of that, from there, you learn how to go into the loom, putting on all threading on the loom and trying to weave. And that's all of long, the process of it. Then from there, you actually have a fabric that you wove, it's so very...
Something that you created yourself from the very beginning.
From the very beginning, and seeing how it's slowly graduating. Once you have the fabric, then say, what are you going to make? I'm going to make something. Then, Dad will teach us how to cut and cut the fabric and making it in the sewing. And when it's finished, it's just like, wow. From that little seed. Oh, gosh, it's just so... It's very, very interesting. It's kind of mind-blowing. For me today, when I see people wearing all these clothes, a lot of people had just no idea. They had no idea what it takes to put together all of that, the stages of, every part of it to get to the clothing you actually put on. That area is almost kind of more spiritual, just see the beginning and the end and keep going. And that excitement, I want to do next. As a kid. So we always do that kind of. Then we go to school, and when we come back from school, we always help our parent. And the first thing the parent would tell us after we come back, how's school today? Yeah, school was great. And they would say, who would we like to help today after school? Because the dad is sewing, my mom is weaving. And one thing we never get to say no, because for them, they feel like they already give you a choice. You can go sewing with your dad
or weave.
Or you have to just pick one. They don't care, whatever you pick. But to say no, that vocabulary, you have to explain it because they don't understand it. What do you mean? No, what was that no mean? Just like no, you don't want to work with the dad, or no, you want to work with the mom. But they always say, yeah, just choose one, But my sibling and I, we always choose our mom because we know that, there's a lot of, kind of treatment, The mom always treats you good, always give you whatever you want.
Was your father stricter, more?
No, it's not. And we don't. For us, we always say, when dad get grumpy, we don't want to be around him, that kind of thing. So for him, just say, okay, if I get grumpy, okay, go work with mom. That's fine. So most of the time, we, kind of do a lot of waving with mom. We help dad as well, but when they say they already give us a choice to choose one. So then we choose mom, just like, but the dad is going to come say, well, I have a lot of pile of work now, I'm going to need help. And I say, okay. Then.
When did you come to Santa Cruz? How long have you been in Santa Cruz?
I've been in Santa Cruz about 28 years. When I first came to Santa Cruz, that's around 94, I think, 94, 95, yeah, it's about 1994. We came from my... I came through exchanging student program in our art school in Nigeria. It's kind of like a gallery. We call it gallery, but it's more like it's more like an education place. Like a school where we learn drawing, painting, textile. For me, coming from a textile family, we do textile over there. Just fit right in. That kind of thing. But when you get an opportunity, because the American and Europeans used to bring students from overseas to the school to learn a different kind of artwork as well. So from there, a lot of professors who bring students, they say, we can bring all this, students too to overseas. That's exchanging. That's when I first came with the dancing troupe. Actually, we came with a dancing troupe. We're going to be doing performances.
And the name of the troupe? What was the name of the troupe?
The name of his troupe, we call ourselves the Children of Oshun. Oshun is a river goddess in my hometown, which we worship. So for us, we grew up as a Children of Oshun when we first came. So that's the name of our group. We name ourselves. And I designed a costume and I played drum with the group.
Yeah, I read about that. You played drums? I should have done that. I should have asked you to
I
bring some drums.
I bring the drum, yeah.
And SantaCruzVoice.com listeners, Bayo has a wonderful website. He's got a very eclectic history here. In Santa Cruz, I read you won the Gail Ridge Award, which is a very prestigious award.
Yeah.
Here, tell us a little bit about Bayo.
Yeah, I feel it's such an honor and opportunity, that I get to be able to get nominated for that, and I really appreciate that because Santa Cruz is I love Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz is just a very unique place. It's very people are so kind, people are so lovely, people are so free down to heart. Just like a friendly. If you live in Santa Cruz, it seems Santa Cruz, as big as it is, it's not that as big because everyone seems to know each other. For me, I've been living here for 28 years, and was able to be in among of the Santa Cruz artists and getting the Gail Rich Award. It's a fantastic thing for me, and I feel honored to be part of it. I feel honored to be chosen and to be part of it. It's just
that was in 2018, was it?
Yeah, it was 2018.
That was recently?
Yeah.
And congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's excellent. It's excellent.
And tell us, again, you can look at Bayo's wearable art and his art on his website. Some of you out there have probably taken part or gone to Fashion Art or Pivot. We had Tina Brown here with us on my first Saturday, and that was wonderful discussing Pivot. Talk a little bit about Pivot, Bayo, and your experience with working with Tina Brown and Rose Celery.
Yeah, Tina Brown and Rose, they're just excellent people. Oh gosh, they're lovely people to work with, and for me, it's just like a sister to me, and we work well together. And Tina always ready to jump up to help whenever she can help, and so do Rose, both of them. And it was very excellent experience for me working with them, and I'm still continue working with them. And
their shows are such wonderful productions and well organized,
wonderful. And
so many models, but at least like hundreds sometimes, and children, and such a variety of talent.
Right.
And Bayo's always one of the highlights of the show, and. It's always been such a joy. You always have wonderful models, and even I have a kind of a quote here from actually it's from Serna, who's been one of your models, and I asked her, Bayo, I said, what is it like to model? And of course, but she said that your clothes, they demand you to walk your best, and it's so true because you're proud, and the colors and the craftsmanship and the beading. Talk about the hours that you spend and the time and the beading and the craftsmanship of your...
Yeah, the hours and all of that kind of thing. When I work on a project, I may have 2 or 3 projects going on at the same time. But I will work on this one a little bit and see how it's going. But if I get tired of it, I move to the next one. But they all... as you mentioned, they all take time. I think that time, whatever time it takes, it just it's so interesting in some way because growing up, and as I mentioned with my family, my mom, my dad, we always working on something like a beat. All of that kind of thing takes time, but we never knew how long it takes because as a child, your parents just say, you need to do this, and just doing it, just don't. The timing, it's no.
So they made it fun.
Exactly.
It was fun, and it was part of your life.
Exactly.
It was just part of your life. Bayo, we're going to take a little break now. SantaCruzVoice.com. We will be right back.
Awesome.
Okay, we're back. I don't know that my commercials played, but who needs commercials right now? Okay. Okay, but we are back, and I'm here in studio. You're listening to Bettina's Buzz. I'm Bettina McBee, and I have IB Bayo, good friend, wearable art designer, here in studio with us to talk about his wonderful wearable art. And we last left it, we were talking about just you being raised to just love creating.
Yes.
Just love creating clothes.
Just for me, it's as an artist, I know artists always get possessed with something. Get possessed of something. Always there for me. For me, I get possessed with so many things, and that kind of thing is just when I have that. Urge of, oh gosh, this color is so amazing. Gosh,
yes, you do work with amazing colors.
That color it gets to, that moment and just go, okay, I have to do something about this. So that is how, get a lot of ideas as an artist, and yeah.
And what is it like when you see a model in something that you've created, when you actually see it on a model, a person, a client? How's that?
Yeah, it's in that moment that is it's exciting moment, because for me, when I'm in my studio, most of the thing I have there is just mannequin, dress form, working on a project, because even the project I'm working on, I may think what it will look like when it's finished, but as I'm going, step by step, putting on a mannequin, then I try and picture, oh my goodness, I don't like that, then change it. But to actually finish it, to have it on a real human being, oh gosh, that is when the phenomena of, to see that, and especially even the model is so fantastic also as well, because for them also, they're an artist.
Well, you see the model transform once they put your clothes on, don't you?
Yes, I do.
We do.
For me too. Even when I put my clothes on, it was like, oh my goodness, I feel like I feel like a child. I just finished that. Yeah, I want to see it on myself too. But yeah, put it on the model is very cool, and see how they move, in that kind of, even you don't even need to tell them. Once they put it on, they got it. It's just the spirit is already.
We feel so extremely elegant and beautiful and handsome. I mean, your men's fashions are incredible. The tailoring of your clothes is incredible. And again, SantaCruzVoice.com. Go to Bayo's website. And you're also involved in the Santa Cruz Open Studio tours. Tell us about that.
Open Studio, this is going to be my 19th years of doing
19th year.
Yes. It would have been the 28th years, because but we didn't do it in 2020 because of a pandemic. So this is my 19th years, which I'm so grateful for.
And that's sponsored by the Santa Cruz Arts Council. Santa Cruz
Arts Council, and actually it begins today. The South County start this weekend, and tomorrow. Then I'm going to be the part of North County, so the 14 and 15.
And there's over 300 artists who take. That's a lot. That's wonderful.
That's a lot.
So you open up your home, your studio?
Yeah, I'm going to next Saturday, the 14th, and from 11 to 5, and I'm going to be displaying all my old collection, and people.
And where do people come?
People come to my address, 115 Nagley Avenue, and please people
come by
and see my own creation and see the process. Do my process.
And you have a long list of accolades, as I was looking, not only shows that you've been in shows in San Francisco.
Yes.
You've been in what shows have you been in?
I've been in San Francisco, Bay Area, a lot in the Bay Area. I do a lot of other shows in the Bay Area. I just got back last Sunday from Lake Charles, Louisiana, for the Fashion Week. And,
for Fashion Week. How was that?
it was great. It was great. Actually, this is my second time there. I was there in 2018, and they've been asked me if I want to come back. I say, yeah, and then the pandemic. That was the year supposed to go again, 2020. Then the pandemic hit. So since then, it said that the schedule, their schedule, and I have another show. So I never actually. Well, anyway, I was able to go this year, which is great. It was fantastic, and it's great to see people, and it's great to see. They're just like they're like a family everywhere I go.
Is it a large fashion show where there are a lot of designers?
Yeah, a lot of designers. Yes, it's a lot of fashion show. Yeah, it's a lot of designers and coming all over. And I was lucky to be part of it. So.
How is the selection process? They just have a list of artists they like to suggest. You submit to be in the show. How did you become part of it?
I think that's a whole lot of that. That's a model here that I know here in California. She and I will work together, and she actually also.
What's her name?
And her name is Anya.
Yes.
Anya. She has modeled over there before, and I think the organizer who saw Anya with my work here in California, that's how they know about me. And they call Anya. I said, oh, yeah, Bayo. So they contact me, and that was it.
That's nice. Mm-hmm. That's nice. So when I can just think of the colors, the vibrant colors, how do you work blending colors together? What comes through your mind, or when you're working to blend different looks or fabrics? What are you thinking of?
That's when the process of artists always come through. That's when you see. Sometimes I actually sometimes blending the colors together. Like I have this fabric, or it could be some materials that are dyed, with a different color of dye. But the dye actually didn't come out exactly the way I was hoping to, but it actually showed me something different. It's more greater than what I was looking for. So in that moment, by mixing the colors together, you get to learn about other colors that you actually didn't even see. You didn't even think it existed.
So magic happens.
Oh, that's when exactly something that I was like, gosh, what was that? Where did it come from? Can I do that again? There in that moment, I get so possessed. This is exactly what I want. I have to try more colors, more colors. I actually get to the one that, okay, now.
It starts speaking to you.
It starts speaking to me, and, just the feeling, came out like, actually I have my, to bring my postcard for my open studio. I meant to come give you, bring one for you. But yes, that's how.
Gonna go by your open studio.
Please stop by. And that's how the color got mixed, together, learning about the color, because it's and also the season, always inspire, all the flower blooming,
Yes.
going taking a walk to the forest, see all the bloom. It's just so many ways. It's everywhere. It's inspiration. It's all around us, and every time, walking on the street, see what somebody's wearing, you can even so upset about that. Just wow. Just try to imagine how does that make.
People watching? Do you people watch? Watch other people? Sit and watch how they walk around and how they move?
Yeah.
And think of something that might look good?
Yeah.
Do you put yourself on a work schedule or do you work freely? For example, do you say, okay, I'm going to go in my studio and work 3 hours today and see what I create? Or
I live in my studio because I always say to people, it's like a joke that the only place I feel comfortable in my house is my studio. That is where anytime I walked in and I close the door and I take it, and that's when I know that everything's going to be all right. As long as I'm right here in my studio, I don't, wish anything else. And then all the project that I have going, and I start to having a conversation with them, which is so another very tricky also by talking to yourself. When I'm in my studio, I always say I talk to myself a lot. Just talk to myself. I feel like I'm talking to. I feel like all the projects that I have going on. Anytime I walk in and I close the door, I can hear everybody talking. I swear I can hear all of them. So, okay, you've been working on this.
Finish me.
Yeah, when it's going to be my turn, I say, hey, guys, let's just calm down. Let's all calm down now. I already closed the door and everything's going to be all right. And, the quietness of it just...
Your fabrics sound about as excited as being created as the models who want to wear the clothes.
Want to wear it. So I would say, in that area in my studio, just where I feel like I feel comfortable. That I feel like that's where my brain is. If I step outside, I might leave my brain.
Leave your brain in the studio.
So why are you just hanging out here while I go and grab some water inside? It's just like a joke. It was sometimes when I go inside and I get so spacey because I don't know. I feel like I don't belong here. I need to go back to my studio, even though it's like a 2 or 3 step from my house.
You need to take this to go in your cocoon.
Yeah, you go back.
You're
so that's how much, for me, where I love creating, that's where I feel like I'm actually really belong to, to be able to create and, just do what comes to mind.
In terms of what comes to mind, what's on your schedule next? I mean, I know you have the open studio tour that's going on, and since I'm sure you're thinking ahead, what are maybe some of your thoughts for the future? More shows?
Yeah, more shows and get to, expose myself to, so many other avenues to, excuse me, to show my work and also to be part of a mentor, to actually to help in so many other ways where I can, with little bit that I know and I can share with other people.
Do you teach?
I just 3 weeks ago I did I do teach, but I do a lot of presentation. I teach textile classes, kind of a workshop. If you want to do textile or
where do you
building.
Where did you do
It depends on the group of people. That somebody have a group of people who want to do that, then we arrange it. But it's something that I have been done in the past, and also 3 weeks ago, almost a month ago, in Oakland, Quid Girl, I was there doing a presentation, and now we're talking about doing a workshop, a batik workshop, which I have which I actually have done with them before, and now they also want to teach reverse applique, so which is something.
And for those listeners who may not know, what is the batik process?
Batik is it's a wax. It's just like it's where you cover some area of put the materials of fabric down, and you draw with the wax. I use a piece of. People do a lot of different kind of tools, but I use it like a foam sponge. Foam to. I will shape it in the shape of cone. The mouth will be sharp and dip in hard wax, and you hold it and draw on your textile, on your fabric. You do a kind of drawing on it. That's what wax is from. And then after that, you're gonna go put it in a tub of dye, depending on what kind of colors of dye you want to use. And after that, you let it dry. Then you take the wax off with hot water. The area was covered with the wax. It's going to stay with the same original color, whatever. If it was white or if it was brown, it would stay there. So because the wax will block the dye to go through into that, and that's make it. Once you dye it and take wax off with hot water, and you kind of see the pattern, everything's come along and just.
I did batik in grade school, so that was fun. That's fun to do. And listeners, I also want to share Bayo was so kind. My daughter Cern and I had won tickets to see the premiere of The Matrix. That was December 18th, like I can forget the date. December 18th, 2021 at the Castro in San Francisco. And prior to us going, of course, we were thinking, what can we wear? I mean, we have to wear. So Cerna said, let's call Bayo and see if. So it was wonderful. It was a wonderful evening, and we had on 2 of your magnificent coats, and I am not kidding. We didn't have to wait in lines. Much organizers of the event would look at us out of the corner. That one gentleman actually said, "Oh, you girls look too fabulous to be in this line." And we got magical treatment that evening, and it was a magical evening. But that was we felt very special in your coats and very noticed. We were very noticed that evening. So that's one of the joys of knowing a wonderful designer like Bayo. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to do this. We're going to take a break. I'm going to be a good air talent, Santa Cruz Voice listeners, and we're going to see if this ad plays. Hold on. Okay, we're going to go ahead and because I don't see the needles moving that the ad's playing, so that's okay. But thank you very much for bearing with me. So, okay, so tell us, Bayo. I'm going to look on Bettina's buzz as I go back. When was the last time you were home? When was the last time you went to Nigeria? I know you've obviously lived here a very long time.
Actually, I went there. Let me see. So about almost 10 years ago, I went to go see my mom. Back then she was old and ill, and I know she only have a little bit of time left. So I went to go see her before she passed away. So I was so glad to get to see that before,
That's cool.
Because a year later she passed away, and so that was the last time. It was 10 years ago. But it was great. Now she lived a full life, and
you had a lot of time with her.
Yeah,
a lot of time with her. You learned a lot from her. Now, do you have a large family? Do you come from? You have many siblings?
I do. I have a lot of big family. A lot. I have a lot more than I won't think. Yes, it's just that in that area, people. I would say a street named after my dad because
really. And what's the street?
That's Agbelekale. That's my last name. People knows that. Mm-hmm. People knows that street because. And also, it has a lot to do with his job. It's well known in the hometown, and he has a lot of children. People know him and.
So you're celebrities. You're celebrities.
It's just so. It's very interesting. Even when we're growing up, maybe my older brother or sister getting married, people always get the old town always. Kind of like, what are they gonna wear? What are they gonna wear? If they start, seeing us start to do a lot of weaving, everybody's just getting excited. So, what are they working on? What are they working on? I'm sure they're gonna work on something. So, people knows our family for that.
And excited to see what's gonna come.
What's gonna come?
Happen next.
People always curious about that because they know something is about to happen.
Do you write as well?
Do I
write? Or do you write?
I do, somehow, yes. I mean, it depends on what I'm.
Kind of like a memoir or diaries or some things about your family history. Have you written anything?
That's a good question. I never. Somebody, it's just so funny you said that. Somebody was just. I think it was in Lake Charles. Somebody was talking to me. I said, you know what? I never really do. I should be. Because they've heard a lot of story about my family. They just saying, "Have you write that down?" I said, I don't know.
Or even record yourself when you're in your studio and all your fabric and everybody's talking to you. That sounds like a song.
I mean, if recording myself in my studio, I say, it will freak me out because I don't. The reason why I also say that it will freak me because it was sometimes talking to myself in my studio. I feel like, gosh, it's amazing how I didn't start talking to myself on the street because just. But that's for me.
Well, do you answer yourself back when you talk?
Oh yeah, I have to, ask a question. Even working on a project, finish it. Oh no, that's not gonna work. Why would you even think about that? You should have to do this one. And just for myself, my student, kind of debating in that kind of thing. And that's a friend of mine said, maybe you should record yourself. I said, no, that would freak me out today. Just like that.
See, and you just had a birthday, so you're a Libra, and I can see you sitting in your studio. I'm a Libra too. I can see you sitting in your fabric dancing, and you dance with in your studio.
Oh yeah,
don't
I do
you?
dance a lot of the time. Dancing. With music on. Of course, especially when the project is going along the way I expect it to go. Of course, okay, this one I checked that. Oh, that's good. Everything's moving on. Everything's moving on. Yes, I do. I love that kind of thing.
So there's a lot of... See, I can even visualize because I know your clothing a lot. There's a lot of movement, and there's so much energy in your clothing, and you can feel the passion that went into the clothing, and just even putting it on, as we said, you feel transformed into something...
It is
special, something different, and
I'll tell you one story. That's a guy who came to my studio one time. Actually, this guy, he wasn't looking for a cloth to make, because I do a lot of other sewing work, and I've do some upholstery in the past. And this guy will have his upholstery that need to be covered, but this upholstery is very unique itself. So he has been to so many tailors. Say, oh gosh, who will do that? He can't. Anyway, he said he can't find somebody who's going to do it. Then he went to buy a foam at the Bay mattress here, and he was just talking to the guy. This guy said, "Oh yeah, Bayo will do it." And who's Bayo? And so they gave him my number, and he called me. He said, "They told me you can do it." I said, "Okay, just bring it. We can talk about it." And he brought it. I mean, actually, he has his drawing diagram. That's what he has. He draw it and everything. He just say people get intimidated about how that kind of thing. I said, yeah, it can be made. And he said, are you sure? I said, yeah, that's not a big deal. And then he asked me, what do you do? I said, no, I don't. I'm just a designer, design clothing. And he said, oh, can I see what you design? I said, oh, sure. And I put him in one jacket. And he looked at himself in the mirror, and he started, this is the guy. He started moving. I said, oh, and I have to tell him, he said, he would like to purchase this jacket right now. I said, let me tell you one thing. If you wear this jacket, people want to touch you before you're ready to be touched. He thought maybe I'm just exaggerating.
Kidding.
He just no. Anyway, it doesn't register that to him at all. And he pay and he go and say, I'm going to work on your project you brought and everything. So anyway, we got connected. And he called me 30 minutes after he left my studio. He called me and said, Bayo, first of all, I thought, I just want to know if it's okay. I said, are you okay? He said, people are freaking out. I said, whoa. He said, in a good way. He said, can you believe me? So many stores he has been. If you walk in, walk out, nobody noticed. Nobody noticed me at all. And I walk in with this jacket now. Of course, everybody. Oh yeah,
everybody notices you.
I say, it's
true.
And you told me that people want to say exactly that's what happened. I thought, yeah, that's
because they're works of art and people notice and they want to touch and they want to. It is true.
So
at this premiere of The Matrix, here we are, and we could hear people going, "Look at their coats!" And of course, they do that little extra spin. So the interior lining, that beautiful pink and paisley mixed interior lining. So of course, I had to do that little spin on the red carpet for everyone to see. So that was wonderful. So again, Bayo is a part of the Santa Cruz Open Studios tours. And what days again will you be open for people to come see you?
Next week Saturday.
Next weekend, Saturday. But it is going on this weekend.
Yes, it's beginning today, yes.
And if people check the website for the Open Studio Tours, which we do encourage you to do, check that and see. Again, there's more than 300 artists who are a part of this. Wearable art, sculpture, fine art. Who are some of the, I know you know some of the artists, who are some of the artists that you know, Bayo, that are part of the tour that you would like to encourage listeners to see?
I mean, you got Lynn Gunter, it's on my street, and she does amazing jewelry. Oh, gosh, she is fantastic.
Jewelry,
just
nice.
phenomenal. So, and there's so many other artists, too, that I just can't remember their name right now. But anyway, if you go to...
But they can go to the website.
And look at it.
And when you have the Open Studio Tours, is it mainly are you showing people your work? Are you demonstrating anything? Are people welcome to try on things? How do you...
Both. I do a lot of demonstration of my work, and I'm showing my work as well. And also have a video of my processing playing in the back of my yard. So people have so many, you can get to see the work, and you go to see how things done, and you can come in my studio. Having me, look at me and doing the process, how design is done, and my studio as well.
And you design wedding dresses, I know.
Yeah, I do. The wedding dresses, I do a lot of alterations of wedding dresses, and yes, I do design for wedding dresses, but it's not for me. I don't know. There's something about that because for me as an artist, I do one of a kind, dresses or jackets.
Unique, extraordinary, one of a kind. For
me, even if somebody come to me saying, can you design my wedding dress, I'd be happy to, but I just don't know. I mean, it costs. It's not that cheap. Even if they go buy it and do the alterations, have them do alterations, it's still cheaper than have a designer design something from the ground up. Because we had no idea what it would cost, but if you hear that, gosh, that's a whole lot of money. And for me, for something I'm going to wear one day and spend that much money on it, I have to think twice about it. That's all I always, so I don't know. They always say, sometimes one bride say, are you an activist about, going again? I said, because you're going to wear it one day. I've told the bride, say, after your wedding, and you have this wedding gown, if you bring it back to me, I would change the design, and I would dye the fabric for you to make it look, you can wear it just more than just one time.
That's a good
idea. Otherwise, it's just, at the same time, as an artist, we need to look at the waste, what we've been doing to the planet, because all of these, big, huge garment, all of these, we're cutting the trees down, and we have to think about that again at the same time, because these days, in the olden days, what I've learned during the alteration, I would see mother of the bride, even before that, they would say, I have this dress I've been saving for my daughter to wear, during the wedding. That's most common in the olden days. People pass down their wedding, but these days, none of those ladies, they don't want to wear it. They want their own. No, that's how they did it, that kind of things. I've seen a mom who actually contacted me before the daughter actually came, saying if I can talk the daughter into it. I say, no, she's not going to wear it. Everybody want their own.
So you do consultations
I have to do that.
With men and women, of course, on fashion and style, in a sense.
Yeah.
You help them and convince them not to spend so much money on one garment.
Something you're going to be wearing one day. I mean, to me, it's just in my work, I do, as I mentioned, one of a kind. So you have that. You're going to wear it multiple times, no matter how, whatever, But, the men can still wear their suit, but the wedding gown, gosh, I mean, I don't know. I've never seen anybody, unless if they bring, I always tell the bride, bring it back to me. I will dye that thing for you. I will change it. I will change it. You can wear it more time, other than just having a closet or find it in a thrift store, because all of that kind of thing, they ended up in a thrift store or somewhere else.
When you design your clothing, do you ever have a goal of how how you would want someone to feel when they put on a particular piece?
Yeah, some particular piece that's more, because I have some pieces that are more kind of storytelling. You know, for me, I come from a oral tradition. People who have a lot of use about traditions,
storytelling.
So some of my work is, I have some work actually based on that. So if I have a model wear it, I want that model, he or she, to just go with, I would tell them the story about this.
Yes.
Once I tell that story, say, put that in mind. Once they put it on, they just automatically go with that, you know, you go with the story.
So it's safe to say your clothing speak to the wearer as to...
That's right.
And they give the wearer a wonderful feeling, a great sense of self.
Right.
We know we're wearing something that's been crafted excellently, has a long tradition of expertise teaching from your parents and generations, and the love of the land.
Yes.
Bayo's been taught to respect and love the land and family and tradition and community. And Santa Cruz has been very good to you.
Oh, yeah, I love Santa Cruz.
And what's some of your favorite things to do in Santa Cruz? When you're not working or in your studio?
Well, I take a walk almost every morning on the West Cliff, and sometimes my wife and I will take a walk into the forest, you know, into the hood, and then just hiking, something like that.
You like to hike?
I do in certain, not too longer ones. I can't do. Oh gosh, just.
But you do. You like to walk.
Now I do, because if before. When my wife and I first met, you know, she wanted, let's go hiking. I said, what's hiking? You know, that kind of thing. It's just, I said, you know, just go into the forest. And I said, doing what? You know, anyway, I don't know where we went. We've been walking in the forest for, I can't remember. I look at my time. I said, we've been walking for 2 hours. He said, yeah, you know, we're almost there. I said, where are we going? For her, it's just, oh gosh, how can I explain to this guy? It's just, I have no idea where we're going, because we've been walking for 2 hours, so no way, anyway, that's what I'm liking it now. But in the beginning,
it was like,
in the beginning, I was just like, guys, what do you do? I think I grew up in Africa. For me, from my house to my school when I was there, it's just like this. We're walking. We're waking up in the morning, we're going to school. We have a destination, going to school and come back home. So, it's going to be hard for me now.
Just to go for a walk.
Just for a walk? This is my life. When I live every day, you know, going to the farm, just like I have a destination, I'm going to find out. You do this just for exercise?
So now your destination is to the studio.
I want it to be that way. But now, you know, of course, now I'm used to, you know, now I know about, you know, hiking now, or even camping. I know about camping now. But in the beginning, guys, it's just like, it took me a while.
It took you a while. Yeah. But Santa Cruz is a gorgeous
God,
place.
Santa Cruz. I mean, I would rather let it be just in Santa Cruz. I don't want it anywhere else. Santa Cruz is just perfect.
It's a wonderful place for inspiration.
It is a beautiful place for inspiration. It is. I mean, I
love driving here, and I think back to like when I was a student at San Jose State many, many years ago. But Santa Cruz would be the place to come to get away from San Jose, to get away from the books, and go to the boardwalk or just be on the beach and walk Ocean Avenue. It was just the perfect.
It's just, I mean, whatever you want in Santa Cruz, you want to go to the hood, take hiking, you know, going to go to the ocean. It's just so many ways. We're surrounded by so magical. This is such a magical place, Santa Cruz.
And it inspires your art.
Always.
Now that we're down to 4 minutes, just to remind you of the time, but on one of your business cards that I have, there's that monarch butterfly coat. Just when did you make that? And that is gorgeous.
Yeah, that monarch's very I can't even remember. It's 2013. I can't remember how long. Yeah, you know, it came living in Santa Cruz. That's how you know Santa Cruz is such a magical place. We're surrounded by monarchy when that season comes. As an artist, there's no way you can know. make anything to just, in honor of them, those monarch magical anytime they come around. For me, I always get possessed. I get possessed with the wings, anything fly, anything. It's one of them things I always, anytime when I'm doing a collection of work, when I finish, I want to create something with a wing, with a fly.
With movement.
With that kind of thing, because,
it does. It when you walk and your clothes move and flow with you, and they accentuate your movement, and even when you're not moving, you look good. So, okay, Open Studio Tour. They can see you. Yeah. They can check you out on your website.
Website, yes.
And you'll probably come on again.
Right.
We'll hope. Right. In the future, because once I have somebody on once, I know I'll want them on again. Uh-huh. I do appreciate you taking the time. So why don't you, this is what I want you to say, not say, but in the years that you've been creating, what about it brings you the most joy?
I mean,
when you're creating your work, what gives you the most joy at any given time? What fills you with the joy?
What fills me with joy is to have the energy of doing what I'm working on. The joy is when I'm inside my studio, creating. In that moment, that's a joy for me, because that's something I've been thinking for a long time, and I was actually start working on it. That brings the joy. Say, okay, I broke this yoke. This gotta be done. In that moment, the joy of it is so phenomenal. To just, it's just kind of being ignored something for a long time, and I was finally actually face it. Facing it is a joy. Just like the achievement.
The achievement
of it. Just like, now I'm finally working on this.
Do any of your creations, do you get surprised at your talent yourself when you finish something, a piece of work that you've thought about, and then when it's done, do you sit back and go, God, I'm good? Do you say that?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah, yes. That time's come, and just, oh gosh,
that's beautiful.
How did I do this? For me, I think, okay, if I can do this, that means I'm gonna go to the next one.
Move to the next one.
So the next, for me as an artist, once I finish a piece of my work, that excites me. Say, oh, congratulations! But I'm more excited to the next one.
To move to the next one.
Oh gosh, that when we're talking about what brings joy, once is done, that one I'm happy this is done, but the one I'm more excited about is the next one, because that excitement always keeps me going, and when that one is done, oh, this is beautiful, but the next one is going to be in that kind of things too.
The next one.
Give me.
So in saying that, in our last few seconds, thank you very